Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. In case you are not sure who I am, my name is Courtney Hartman. I am one of the group health specialists of our Health Plan Options Department here at URL Insurance Group. So please feel free to reach out to myself or anybody else that is on my team for group health assistance, meaning Elise, Jackie, or Dina. And a few housekeeping items before I hand this over. There is a chat feature over if you need to ask any questions to the right side. Just type in your questions, and throughout the presentation, we'll either answer them throughout the presentation or we will answer them at the end. And any resources of this PowerPoint you can pull as well. Okay, now that we have got all that out of the way, I'm excited to have Dina McVicker here, Voluntary Benefits and Technology Advisor at Colonial Life. And she is here to get us ready for fourth quarter. So without further ado, please take it away, Dina.
Thank you. So as Courtney said, I work with Colonial Life. I also work with Benechoice. We do technology, enrollment platforms, benefit administration, benefits from many carriers, but today we're going to be talking about Colonial Life and kind of digging into fourth quarter, which seems like it's already fallen upon us. We've been super busy. The temperatures are starting to drop, so fall is here, which means that fourth quarter is here. I kind of wanted to just get some information out to you ahead of the renewals that are going to start coming in soon. A lot of you have 10 ones, 11 ones, 12 ones, 1 ones. So as we're kind of going through those renewals, looking for opportunities where voluntary benefits may be a fit. And I heard somebody recently say to kind of put a fence around your clients. So you're not just talking about the health insurance and then walking away from that renewal saying, you know, we're done with that. Where are other opportunities to talk about additional benefits that may keep you first in line with that client? They don't turn to a voluntary carrier or another broker to talk to them about a life insurance or a disability or an accident plan. So kind of our agenda today is just walking through what are voluntary benefits, why are they important, more important today than they've been. This is my 25th year with Colonial Life, and our sales are up 150% this year. It's just crazy that people are actually digging into voluntary benefits as a solution to attract and retain employees. And then for you, how do you identify an opportunity in a group as you're going through that renewal and or win a new client talking about voluntary benefits? And not just voluntary benefits, but technology. URL has acquired their own license of Employee Navigator. They are offering that to all of you at, I don't know what the price is, Elise would be able to help you out with that, but offering that to you to have access to Employee Navigator, to build on that during the fourth quarter, kind of pull all of your benefits into one place. To make it easier for your clients, easier for you to pull reports from all of your clients. And then again, kind of just get your arms around that client a little bit more so that somebody else can't come in and say, hey, we offer technology and you didn't talk about it. So what are voluntary benefits? Voluntary benefits in a nutshell means that they are employee paid, employee owned, voluntarily picked benefits. They fill gaps in medical insurance. They help with lost wages, savings, travel expenses. The beauty of voluntary benefits is that it's not a group plan and the employees pick and choose what they want. So there's a lot of flexibility for the employee to say, I'd rather have life insurance than disability, or I'd rather have a cancer plan versus life insurance. They pick and choose what makes the most sense to them. These benefits are all portable at the same cost if they change jobs or retire. So they truly are their own benefits. They get to keep them once they design the plans. And because they're not grouped, the employee is actually designing their own plans, how much coverage they want, how many different plans they want, who they want to be covered under that plan, whether it's just themselves and or spouses, children, whatever. The benefits that we have through Colonial Life are disability. We call it short-term disability, although an employee can choose a 6-month, 12-month, or 24-month benefit plan. The employee also designs the plan to include how much coverage they want, anywhere from $400 to $4,000 a month. They also decide their elimination period. Do they want it to start after a week, after 2 weeks, after 30 days, after 90 days? This plan, besides being an employee design plan, can also stack on top of other short-term or long-term plans. So if you have a company that already has short-term and long-term disability and it's 60%, the employee can do the other 40% through Colonial to get them closer to 100% of their paycheck if something happens and they're out of work. The accident plan covers things like broken bones, fractures, cuts that require stitches, x-rays, ambulance, hospital stays. It's kind of there to cover out-of-pocket expenses, whether that's related to your health insurance, deductible, whether it's you had a copay at the emergency room, a copay at the doctor's office. It's a lump sum payment that goes back out to the employee. They decide how they want to spend that money. Life insurance that we do is term life and whole life. So the employee, again, is picking and choosing what makes the most sense to them. The term life plans that we have are 10-year, 15-year, 20-year, and 30-year benefits. The whole life is we can do up to 150,000 with no blood, no urine, no physical. So it's easy for employees to get benefits through work. The hospital income is basically a plan that looks at coordinating with your high deductible health insurance plan. So most of the companies that we talk to right now have a 2,500 or 3,500 at least deductible. We're watching a lot this year with the emergency room outpatient diagnostic pays going up for the employee to keep the cost of the insurance down. So there again, we have a lot more out-of-pocket expense for the employee who may say, hey, this plan would help me if something happened and I have a $3,500 deductible, plus I have these other expenses. I don't have that kind of money if something happens and I end up in the hospital. So this plan would pay a lump sum back to them to help them with those expenses. The critical care is a lump sum payment paid out for things that are major: heart attack, stroke, organ transplant, kidney failure. A lot of times employees, when they have something like that happen, have a lot of time off work. It's not a couple of days, it's not a week, it's time in the hospital to recover, time at home. They probably, if you have a spouse, the spouse is going to take time off with you to be with you. So there's a lot of income lost and a lot of bills all at one time for a period of what could be weeks or months. So this is a lump sum. The employee chooses anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 of coverage, and that check goes back to the employee. It also has a subsequent diagnosis built into it, so that if they have a heart attack, they get paid. If they then have a stroke, then they get paid. So it pays multiple times. It's not a once and done kind of thing. The cancer plan pays for things related to cancer, pays you through radiation, chemotherapy, prosthetics, experimental treatments. It pays $100 once a year for an employee to go get some kind of wellness test, whether that's a pap smear, mammogram, PSA test. There's 24 different wellness benefits on there that they can choose from. I've had a lot of brokers that I've worked with say, why would somebody need a cancer plan when you have medical insurance? And that's paying for things while you're in the hospital, while you're getting tested, while you're going through your chemotherapy. I know a lot of people that have had cancer, besides the wellness benefit, which for me is big because, knock on wood, I don't have cancer in my family, but I get $100 from my premium back every year. A lot of people that I know that have been through cancer do their radiation or their chemotherapy treatments on a Thursday or Friday so that they can recover over the weekend, come back to work on Monday. That's time off work. That's not paid for out of your medical insurance. I've had friends who have gone for experimental treatments, and I'll tell you, if you know anybody that's been through cancer or you've been through it yourself, you're looking at what's the thing that's going to help here. Is this experimental treatment going to help me? A lot of times that's not covered as part of your medical. Um, I've had friends who had to go to Mayo clinics in Minnesota to get a second opinion on something. That travel is not covered under your medical insurance most times. So the cancer plan helps with a lot of out-of-pocket expenses. It pays you through your stages of cancer. If you go into remission, you're cancer free, and then you get it again, it starts paying all over again. Like I said, again, I have the plan because I know a lot of people that have it. I have the plan because I get $100 wellness back every year, and I have to go get those things done anyhow. You have to go get the pap smears and the mammograms and things done under your health insurance. So you might as well get $100 back for that. And then the last thing that we have is the dental insurance. It's a PPO plan. It's very comparable to any other dental carriers out there. So I'd love to do a quote for you if you're looking for something like that. The beauty of this plan is that it's one of the plans that we offer in a group. So we don't need participation like a lot of other dental carriers do, where you look at a dental plan and you have to get 8 or 10 people out of the group, or 10% of the people to sign up, or 25% of the people. This can be one person in a group of 10 signs up for it and they've got it. So that's what the voluntary benefits look like. They're employee owned. We need 3 people in a group to sign up. That can be one does disability, one does accident, one does life insurance, and we've got the 3 that we need to make a group. They are all payroll deducted from the employee, and then we ask the group to pay the bill at the end of the month that matches what they've taken out of the employee's paychecks. So it's pretty simple. It's easy to set up. We do small groups. I have groups that are 3 lives. I also have groups that are 3,000 lives. So it depends on the group, what they already have in place, where there may be gaps in coverage. And then we kind of start to put together a plan as to what benefits fit in that group. Why are voluntary benefits so important for the employees? Part of that we just covered. They have gaps in coverage. Even if you have a really great health insurance plan, you may not have disability in your group, or you may not have life insurance, or you may not have enough disability. Employees are, this is a stat from a LIMRA study not too long ago. Employees are more financially fragile right now than they have been in the past. A lot of people going through COVID were not working, did not have an income. A lot of them are still not back to work, or still looking for jobs. So they don't have savings. They don't. Most employees that we talk to now don't have $1,000 in the bank to be able to help protect an emergency if something happened and they ended up in the hospital. Part of this is because the workforce is so diverse. We now have apparently 5 generations of people working in different companies. So you can have an 18-year-old who couldn't begin to understand what they would need a disability policy for, but they get the accident plan. A $10,000 term life plan is $1.53 a week. You can talk to them about getting at least $10,000 in life insurance. On the other end of that, you've got, the baby boomers who are thinking about retirement. And do I have life insurance that I can take with me when I leave this company and retire? A lot of plans that they have through companies are not portable, sometimes convertible, but generally not portable at the same cost. So the colonial benefits are nice for them to pick up, 10,000, 20,000, something for burial that they can take with them at the same cost if they change that job or retire. And then the HR team, kind of why are they looking at voluntary benefits or adding voluntary benefits? They are trying very hard right now, God bless them all, to keep employees and attract new employees. Recruiting is hard right now. Everybody's looking for some kind of bonus, taking jobs that maybe they'll stick with for a couple of months, 3 months. The benefits, as I said, the administration is easy. It's basically, we come in, we sit down with the employees for a few minutes, we explain the benefits. The employee signs up, we ask the plan administrator or HR team to take that payroll deduction and send that premium into Colonial at the end of each month. When an employee has to be terminated, that's done in a portal. Anything else is done by us, by Colonial, by our agents. Someone needs to file a claim. They have a policy question. They don't understand what they had. They're getting ready to have some kind of surgery. That's all us. We're simply asking the HR team to take the payroll deduction, send the premium in, tell us when somebody's been terminated. We do the communication and education with the employees when we come in. We don't expect the HR team to have time to sit down with each employee and explain how these benefits work. So we do that. We sit down with the employees. We explain to them, first of all, what benefits does that employer have in place? How do they work? Because once we do that, they then understand where they might need additional coverage. Did I maybe not realize that I now had a $5,000 deductible on my health insurance and I had a lot of copays in my health insurance? Did I maybe not realize that my short-term disability is 60% of my income, but that's taxable? So that's 45 to 50% of my income. If something happens and I'm out of work, I've got a problem if I have to live on half of my income. So that's part of the communication education that we do with the employees. And then as they have new hires, we onboard those new hires, whether we're actually sitting with them knee to knee, or we are doing call center, or we are doing a situation like this where we get them on their computer and say, hey, jump on with us for a few minutes. We're going to walk through your benefits. That can be either in our enrollment system, or if you've built it into Employee Navigator, we can enroll it that way. So we cover all of the benefits. We make sure they understand everything. They're onboarded, and we send that information over to the HR team. I just kind of covered this. Are benefits still important to attract and retain employees? You bet. We have more employers in the last 2 years, I would say, that are talking about voluntary benefits, doing voluntary benefits, adding voluntary benefits, because that's how they're attracting employees. Employees are looking for a job. Pay obviously is number one. I think probably number two right now is, where am I working? Can I work at home part-time? Can I come in part-time? What's my travel like? And then benefits. And if you don't have short-term disability, then they're going to look at the guy up the road for a job. If you don't have any kind of life insurance, then they're going to talk to somebody else. So voluntary is a nice way to add benefits without increasing your bottom line, and being able to say, yes, we have dental, yes, we have disability, yes, we have life insurance. One thing that we talked about on our last webinar was a benefit bank. We have a lot more employers who are saying, let me offer some money towards these benefits so that I can attract and retain employees. Instead of doing that $1,000 bonus, or here's a hiring bonus of $500, let me put that money into benefits and offer them benefits so that they'll stay, because that signing bonus is going to be for 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, there's a good chance that they're going to leave and go to the next company that's going to give them a signing bonus. I just covered this, but the study on when employees are trying to choose a career, what's most important, we find that this is for the HR people, the price of the products offered has gone up. The value of the products offered has gone up, and then the ease and support. And again, I'll tie this back into URL and using Employee Navigator. That using technology and using a benefit platform is making life so much easier for the HR admin teams to be able to pull everything into one place, have everything at their fingertips. We just did a 8,000 Life group that was still doing things on paper, collecting forms from employees on paper in multiple locations. That is so easy to get things lost, to have somebody fill it out and then have to type it into multiple portals, whether it's your health insurance, your 401k, your disability, your life. That's multiple times that somebody has to sit there and type that information in. When you have an enrollment platform like Employee Navigator, that goes in one time and it feeds out to all of those carriers. So you're making life easier for your HR teams, which makes them want to work with you. The importance of online services. This is from 2020, but I can tell you from 2020 to 2023, it's through the roof. It's just, it's something that we really all need to be talking about, not just the benefits and how they work and renewals, but enrollment platforms and online enrollment services, call centers, web enroll. It's all around us now. It's how we do business. And again, the impact on employee retention. A lot of those employees that went through 2020 with their employer and then watched all of this signing bonus, the new people are coming in, they're getting $500, $1,000, whatever the dollar amount is, didn't have a lot of reason to stay, which is why, again, we're talking more about benefit banks and doing something for everyone. Talking about benefits, benefit communication is huge, because if they don't know they have it, then they can't appreciate it. They can't appreciate the employer. Satisfaction with benefits. A lot of studies done through LIMRA now talking about if employees are satisfied with their benefits, and that comes from benefit communication and us telling them what those benefits are, then they stay longer. Their job satisfaction and retention goes way up in the company that is consistently and constantly talking about the benefits. And then for you, how do you identify an opportunity when you're working on a renewal? You've gone out to the client, or you've just got the renewal and you see, they've got a 20% increase. How can we adjust that health insurance renewal a little bit to tweak some deductibles, tweak some copays, maybe add an HSA? I'm sure Courtney's great at that kind of stuff when you're looking at that renewal. How can we tweak that a little bit, and then maybe put a medical bridge plan in alongside that, so we can keep the cost down or get the cost down and add a voluntary benefit alongside that? I have a lot of employers who will add an HSA, and that gets their cost way down on the health insurance plan. Maybe it's a second option or a third option, and then they will pay for the medical bridge or hospital confinement for the people who jump into that HSA plan. So that gets their cost way down. We're trying to move the employees over to one particular plan to get the cost down or come down from that 20%. So we're going to look at the existing benefits and also what you're doing as far as a renewal. What do they have in place already? What kind of disability? What kind of life? Do they already have a voluntary provider in place, but they're just not happy with them? They haven't seen them in years. What's the product mix look like? Can we integrate with other products? Can we do group products? Do we do voluntary products? What other carriers are in the group? Is there MetLife or Guardian or a Sun Life, or what do they have in there that we need to kind of work around? And then the biggest question, especially when you're talking about technology, is who is their payroll partner? That drives the technology 99% of the time. If it's ADP or it's Paychex or it's Paylocity or it's Paycom, that will determine a lot of times what they already have for technology, how we enroll. If they don't have something like that already, then we definitely want to talk to URL and talk about Employee Navigator, and can that be part of our fit for this company? Working conditions. It's different, in every single group that we get to, and especially now when half people are working at home, half are in the office. Can we see them face to face? Can we do group meetings? Do we do call center? That's one of the first questions that I'm going to ask you when you come and say, hey, listen, I've got this group. How many locations? How do we see them? What do they already have in place? And then after working conditions, and we're kind of talking about how can we make this work, then what do we get out to them? Or if we're face to face, then we can print some flyers and take them out, or we can send flyers out ahead of time. But if they're 40 life group and they're in 22 different states, then we're probably looking at creating a website for them, or doing emails or text messages or electronic postcards. So some of the things that I'm going to ask you are right here on the sheet. Like, what do they already have? What are we looking to do? Are we trying to replace somebody? Who do they have for payroll? And then how do we get to them? And then Elise always says the next step is to call Dina. She calls Dina and she says, do they have another carrier that needs replaced? What benefits? We're going to talk about some underwriting offers. If we need to replace a carrier, how do we replace that? Can we automatically go from disability from the previous carrier right over to ours? What's our enrollment strategy? What are we trying to accomplish? What's our timeline? Is this, a 10-1, 11-1, 12-1, 1-1? How much time do we have to kind of put some information together? And again, do they have an enrollment platform? I know I keep saying that, but that's because that's all our HR people are asking us about right now. By the way, just so that you guys know, Colonial Life benefits do plug into about 40 different enrollment platforms right now, whether that's an employee navigator, a bswift, an ease. I can't even name all 43 of them, but we do plug in or connect directly to that system. So it makes it very easy if you have a client and you come into an account that has ease or bswift or employee navigator to say, yes, we can add benefits onto that platform. I just need to work with whoever their builder is that's doing the back end of that. This is just kind of talks about what's your part, what's my part, just so that you get an idea of how truly easy this is for you. It's not a lot of work on your side. It's on me and on URL to make sure that we've got the proper benefits, we've got the proper setup, we've got the enrollment team in place, and post-enrollment, when we're done, we wrap this all up. We make sure everybody has deductions. We make sure the employees have all the information on their benefits. So on you is kind of prospecting. You're looking for your clients or you're going through your renewals. Fourth quarter, maybe a lot less prospecting for you and a lot more, hey, let me get through this pile of renewals that I have. And then acquisition, what you're talking to them about as far as RFPs and what benefits are they looking for, and then kind of get us involved. Can you and I walk out or go out to this client and talk to them about what the process is, how it works. I find out a lot of information when I'm sitting in front of them. Sometimes they forget to mention to you that they have voluntary benefits. Oh yeah, I forgot we had those. How many pays are they? Same questions I'm asking you up front, but I'm kind of just confirming with them, have you looked into an enrollment platform? Who's your payroll carrier? How do open enrollment meetings work for you? What does that look like? In your 22 different locations, how do you generally handle that, and how can we help you? Here's some enrollment tools that we have, whether, again, we're creating a website, we're doing digital postcards, we're sending packets out. How does that work for you, and how can we get involved and help? And then scheduling the enrollment, what dates, what times, what locations. If it's a hospital, we have 3 shifts? When are they here? When are they not? I have never asked so many times in my life, when do your employees come into work? You have 30 employees. When are they here? Because sometimes some are here on Monday, some are here on Wednesday, some work Tuesdays and Thursdays. Nobody seems to be in the office at the same time right now. So that's kind of a challenge that we'll work through, when we're talking to the HR person. How do we do this? How do we catch them all? Do we have had a couple of companies that say, listen, on Thursday, let's just bring in some pizzas and everybody comes in, whether it was their day to work or not. Let's just get everybody in here and get this done. Once the enrollment is done, I feed information back to the HR team. Here's who signed up. Here's how much needs to come out of their paycheck. Start these deductions the first of the month. We get them all the information on this enrollment, and then we start talking about new hires. How do we take care of onboarding new hires? What does that look like for you guys? How can we help? What can we do? Through stages 1 through 6, you can be as involved or uninvolved as you want to be. Some employers will simply get the information from the brokers will get the information from the employer. They will shoot out an email and say, Dina, let me introduce you to Sue. Dina, please call Sue and start the process. Go see her, set this up. Some brokers that I have want to be involved in everything. They want emailed on everything, and that's fine too. It's your comfort level. It's your client. We want to make sure that we do everything right and we're doing it the way that you want it done. So I said Employee Navigator through URL. They have a license through URL. They are able to help you out with that as far as getting you hooked up. There is a lot of information on how to build benefits in if you want to be a builder. I generally don't offer this to clients that are less than 50 because of the cost, but URL has a great deal. They're partnering with you as far as how many lives you get on the platform gets your costs down. So I definitely would give Elise a call and just walk through this with her, see what it means. If you're, kind of want to dip your toe in, I'd say pick a couple of accounts maybe this year, or send something out to your clients as you're going through renewal and say, would you be interested in taking a look at this? I know that out of my Benechoice office, we build on Employee Navigator, we do CellerX, we do bswift, we do Ease. It's not hard, but it can be kind of scary at first. I've found for myself. So I'd say pick one or two and walk through the process, and you're going to see a lot of it, a lot more of it. So that's it for me. I wanted to try to keep it to about a half an hour. Courtney, I don't see any questions in the Q&A, but I'm not sure if I would see them on my side.
I do not see any either. So you probably did an excellent job at explaining everything. So then we don't need any questions. But if any do arise with anybody that is currently on this, just send them out to us, and Dina is wonderful. She will get us all the answers and above. So if you do have any questions after this, just shoot us an email and we will be able to answer that for you. I want to thank everybody for coming and sitting with us for this half hour to learn more about Colonial Life and all of the things that they can offer. And they are, of course, wonderful to work with. And thank you, Dina, for coming on, taking the time to tell everybody about the options that people have for voluntary benefits with Colonial Life. And everybody has a good rest of their day.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.